Salute, comrades. This is Behind the Walls Talk with your founder, William McCallum, and I thank you for visiting this domain. I'm here to give you an insight into the minds and hearts of those incarcerated that have been deemed voiceless. Well, this is where their voice and stories will be told for those of you who are concerned with human beings that are in prison for the mistakes they have made and for some of the injustices that were committed against them. Resolutions for reform is the goal and objective looking to be attained. Now step into our world. Welcome to Behind the Walls Talk with your host, William McCallum. I have a brother here with me who has been incarcerated for a long time, an elder in our community. He's well knowledgeable, and I would like for you all to take heed to his wisdom. So if you will, without further ado, tell the listeners, my brother, what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Bernice McDougald, and I'm from Aberdeen, Moore County, North Carolina.
What were you convicted of? And how much time did they give you, Mr. McDougald?
Convicted of first-degree murder. I have been sentenced to life plus 60 years.
So, Mr. McDougald, how long have you now been incarcerated?
Have not been locked up, been incarcerated since 1991, so they give me 34 years.
You've been locked up for 34 years? What have your prison experience been like within those 34 years of you being incarcerated?
My prison experience, to say the least, has been an adventure. Ups and downs, loss of family members, loss of friends, it's a constant struggle dealing mentally, physically, and spiritually, trying to stay upbeat in this environment.
When they sentence you with life without parole, like, what was the feelings that ran through your mind at that moment? Like, what was it that took toll upon you at that very moment?
My feelings, it's very hard to describe at the time when you're 21 years old and you have been sentenced to life for 60 years. Basically, you feel like your life is over. So basically, the only thing that you can do is, just try to find an anchor or something to hold on to, because at the end of the day, you know that you may never come back home, or you never see your family members again.
I like to ask you a particular question. Like, with the prison system, what do you feel about the rehabilitation in the prison system nowadays?
My experience with far as rehabilitation, I think that the prison is not a form of rehabilitation. I think prison is a form of punishment or
This call is from the North Carolina Correctional Facility.
Or for individuals, it could be, depends on your crime, it could be an act of revenge. Because when you look at the amount of time that people are doing on their sentences, where does rehabilitation start? The only way a man can rehabilitate himself, he have to do it on his own. It won't be due to the fact that you've been incarcerated behind a gate. That won't rehabilitate you. Rehabilitation starts with your mind and your ideas.
I know me and you was having a conversation and everything, and I know you were speaking about how long does it take for them to realize that you have been rehabilitated, because I did an article one time before on Behind the Walls Talk, and I was specifically speaking about how it's rehabilitation versus dehumanization, and and like you say, they're here to punish us more than what we already been punished. And, and that's the whole point of the justice system and the rehabilitation system, So if we all like to elaborate on, like, the time and everything, the time frame, or what does it seem like?
It just seems that the state has no idea as to what rehabilitation really means. I mean, what is the length of time does it take for a man to rehabilitate himself? For him to rehabilitate himself and the things that goes along with it. Because, due to the fact that, there's limited resources as far as schools and education opportunities for here. So the way a man can rehabilitate himself is basically on his own through reading and, through work, through spiritual It's relationship with God. So it basically comes down to your own personal change. Because as far as being locked in here, it's a form of punishment. It's not a form of rehabilitation. So basically, the only way a man can rehabilitate himself is that he wants to, he decides to, and he puts the work in order to be a different man or change man when the time comes for him to be returned to society, if he's given that opportunity. But the system in North Carolina, a lot of people don't receive that opportunity to be returned to society, so we never know if the man was really rehabilitated himself or not.
That's a fact, my brother. I enjoy your wisdom, man. That's a fact, brother. I salute that. Hey, let me change the energy right here a little bit, man. Do you have any children?
Yes, I'm the father of three. I have a daughter named Tasha. I have two sons, one named Marshreet, one named Dominic, and I also am a happy grandfather. I have 8 grandkids.
Well, you got 8 grandkids. I just got 1. I can imagine how you feel with having 8 of them. Man. Let me ask you something, while being incarcerated, how has that affected your time by having children, not being absent in their lives physically? And what is it that you did to be there for them mentally and spiritually?
I mean, it's always a constant burden on you when you know and understand that if you would have been there, your children's life would have been different. So it's something that something that you have to continue to live with. But I thank God for the fact that I have established a relationship with my kids, and we have a strong bond. But at the end of the day, I know I let them down by not being there, not being the man that I was supposed to be, because I was supposed to be there to protect them, not just being a daddy, but being a father. So, but I just thank God that I have a relationship with them, and it's a strong relationship. And everybody can't say that. Even though I'm behind the gate, I still continue to give them wisdom and knowledge and let them know that this is not the path that they want to take, and just try to give them godly advice.
That's right, spoken like a true father. Hey, do you have moral and mental support from someone in society, somebody that holds you down, somebody that you could call on and talk to when you're feeling down?
Well, I've been blessed when it comes to spiritual, as far as support-wise. My family has been there with me from the beginning to the end. I have sisters and brothers, and our church members. I have one particular brother named Daryl Patterson. He's in Florida, but when I'm really feeling down and I really need somebody to, uplift me and give me some strength, I call on that brother. He's been there for me. He's been like rock for me. So, as far as spiritual, financial support, my family's been there for me. They have been my rock.
That's what's up, man. We all need that support, man, because, times do get hard in here. Especially if you ain't got nobody by your side that you could call on. So, well, what's your story on how you grew up as a youth, the experiences you've had, the traumas that you have endured?
I would say that my story is like a lot of other young black men. We grew up, before my father died. He was in the household with me early, but he died when I was 6. So basically my mother was raising 8 kids on her own. We didn't have anything or everything that we had, but we had everything that she could provide. But eventually, the streets started calling, so that's when I ended up at, because I know my mother wasn't able to provide for us and do everything that she needed to do, the things that we wanted. So we had to find a way to, help her out. And unfortunately, this is the route that I took, and this is the result.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
Knowing and understanding that this is the result of your actions by taking the route and making the decisions and choices that you made in life as a youth, what is it that you would like to say to the youth out there now that are being misled and find a life of crime intriguing?
I would like to say to the youth out there now that don't be deceived by all the glitter. Everything that glitters and is not really gold. Everything looks good, and when you're young, you feel like you're gonna live forever because you really don't understand what life is really about because you haven't experienced life. So my thing would be, if you have an opportunity to receive an education, which is the most important thing that you can get, seek the education first and stay out of the streets, because the streets has nothing for you. The opportunity look like an opportunity, but it's really a trick. So my thing would be, I would just advise all the youth, if you have an opportunity to receive any type of education, that's what you should pursue at all costs.
That's right, my brother. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Behind the walls talk. We speak about a lot of prison reform and everything, and that's what we deal with. We deal with legislatures, we deal with the governor, we deal with lawmakers, and we try to get bills passed, try to get laws changed, and try to get policies changed as well. I know we were speaking earlier and everything, and I know you were speaking about the unjustness of a law in particular. And if you would like to, would you explain that to the listeners of Behind the Walls Talk right now?
Yes, if I had an opportunity to explain something, I would be explaining something. I think that the laws of North Carolina are kind of outdated, or they're really not fair, because they have a law that's called acting in concert, where you could actually lock 7 or 8 individuals up and charge them for one crime, even though it could be only one weapon involved. But everybody that has anything or any round, or they feel that has any knowledge of the crime, can receive the same time. So you actually have people in North Carolina doing life sentences who didn't physically commit any crime, but they're serving the same length of time. So how do you really justify giving 6 or 7 people a life sentence for one crime that's been committed? So I think that the laws definitely need to be looked in, and I think they need to be changed, and people deserve a better opportunity than that, because what my decision should not affect the way what the time that they should be giving you. So I think that it's not fair.
That's right, my brother. It's definitely not fair. It's definitely unjust, and it definitely needs to be looked into. All the guys that's on state now, man, that have charges of such, all the cases need to be looked into, and all of them need to be found some relief within the time, and all of them need to be released. Hey, let me ask you something, my brother. I'm gonna change the temperature a little bit. Have you had to deal with the death of any loved ones, families, or friends since you've been incarcerated?
I've definitely had to deal with the loss of loved ones, and my situation has been a little bit more drastic than other individuals, because I have been to the point where I've lost a grandmother, a mother, and a sister, and a brother since I've been incarcerated. And I haven't been allowed to attend either one of those funerals due to the fact of the nature of my crime. So as I sit here today, I lost those 4 major family members in my family, and I don't even know where their gravesite is. So that's one of the things that I have to live with while I'm doing this time. So I wasn't even allowed to say goodbye to my family members due to the fact of me being incarcerated, or due to the fact of the charge that I have. So that's one of the things that I deal with. But yes, I've definitely took some major losses. But I just thank God that He kept my mind, gave me the strength to continue to go on.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you something, right? First of all, I'm sorry for your losses, my brother, but I'm gonna tell you this right here, right? They need to change that policy right there too as well, because it just dawned on me and everything. Due to the nature of individuals' crimes, they don't be allowing certain individuals to go to the wake, or they be only allowing you to go to immediate family's wake to see the body. I feel like you should be able to go. If they're family and they're proven to be family, then you should be able to go to their wake and view the body. Because that's somebody that you care for, that's somebody that you love, that's somebody that you held dear to your heart. And the reason why I say this is because regardless of your crime and everything, they can take you on a medical trip. They'll have 2 officers, they'll take you on a medical trip. They'll take you to outside to the hospital, take you to a medical office, to a doctor's office, to see a specialist and everything else. But they won't take you to see your family, your loved one, somebody that you cared about. Nah, that's not right. So that definitely needs to be looked into as well. And once again, man, I'm sorry for your loss, my brother. Hey, would you tell the listeners of Behind the Walls Talk what a second chance in society means to you?
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Matter of fact, hold that thought. Behind the Walls Talk will continue. Back to Behind the Walls Talk with my brother, Mr. McDougald. Hey, Mr. McDougald, would you tell the listeners of Behind the Walls Talk what a second chance in society means to you?
Due to the fact that I was incarcerated so young, I just turned 21. A second chance society would look like me really showing my family what it is, you know what I'm saying, that I have experienced and the growth that I've accomplished since I've been here. It would give me an opportunity to establish a relationship with my family, loved ones, my kids, as well as watching the next generation grow up. So I would be able to share some wisdom and knowledge and keep them on the right path. So a second chance would just be, I can't even put it into words. But I would just love the opportunity because so much the wisdom and knowledge that I have received, I could be able to pass it on to the next generation.
That's a fact, man. That's what it's about, man. Sharing that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and giving it to the next generation so they can carry it on, and especially carrying it on with your legacy, through your children and your grandchildren and everybody else coming to follow, man. Hey, yo, man, this has been a wonderful interview, man. I really appreciate your time and everything, and I appreciate you giving me your time, man. Is there any last words you would like to share with the listeners of Behind the Walls Talk?
I would just say I'd just like to thank y'all, thank my brother for this opportunity to be able to speak and say, and just let people know that we in here, that we all human beings. And we still go through struggles and that we are dealing with things, you know what I'm saying? But we're doing the best we can under the situation. But at the same time, we have family members, we have loved ones that want to see us home and want to see us return to our...
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
And we'll just pray for that day when the opportunity presents itself. Thank you.
That's right, my brother. Like I said, man, I appreciate the interview. Hey, look, check this out, man. All you listeners to Behind the Walls Talk, this brother's name, His number is out here on our website. He's going to be on our YouTube channel. You take heed to the wisdom that the brother